You now have a general understanding of the DBT skills and how they are organized and taught in the context of modules. It's time to go up a level because learning DBT skills is just one part of what's known as comprehensive DBT. Next, I'll explain how learning the skills fits into a set of components that makes up comprehensive DBT. When we talk about comprehensive DBT, we're referring to 4 standard components that are combined to support individuals as they engage in treatment. Let me say right up front that not everyone needs all 4 components to get value from DBT. I'll come back to that in the final part of this series. For now, I'll cover the 4 components, including individual DBT therapy or coaching, DBT skills groups, DBT phone coaching, and a DBT consult team. I'll explain each of these one by one. First up is individual DBT therapy or coaching. You'll partner with a therapist or coach in these one-on-one sessions to deep dive into your unique challenges and goals. While individual therapy is generally not the primary setting where DBT skills are initially taught, it is a space where you'll get individualized support using the skills in the context of your personal experience. Regular assessments are typically part of this process, and your therapist will track your progress and fine-tune as you go. Remember, when selecting a therapist or coach, you'll want to consider their training, license, and certifications related to DBT. In comprehensive DBT programs, you'll typically start with individual therapy in advance to joining a skills group. A quick note about therapists versus coaches. Today, therapists need to be licensed to practice within a particular state. There are efforts to change the laws so that therapists can practice across state lines, but this is only true across some states today. Related to this, some licensed therapists will present themselves as coaches to be able to support clients outside of the state where they're licensed. This is completely legal, so long as they represent their services as coaching. Another thing to be aware of is whether or not you want to work with an individual therapist or coach or with someone who is a part of a group. There are pros and cons to this choice that you might want to consider. The benefit of working with someone in a group is that they'll likely have access to a consultation team, which I'll explain in a moment. But more generally, groups have systems and processes to ensure adherence to DBT protocols. This is just another way of saying that they help ensure that the care you're getting is actually DBT. They also tend to offer more and better administrative support and more comprehensive care options. Most comprehensive programs are run out of group practices. Full disclosure, I run such a practice. One benefit of working with an individual therapist or coach is that they may be able to charge less for their services because they don't have a lot of the overhead the group practices bear. Unless you're a very educated consumer, my general guidance is to at least explore working with a group before attempting to identify an individual practitioner. If you do explore an individual practitioner, I recommend considering their DBT training, particularly carefully because they'll likely be working without supervision. You should also verify if they are part of a DBT consultation team. If not, then they cannot truly offer comprehensive care. Regarding certification and training, anyone who is DBT Linehan Board certified has achieved the highest credentialing in the field. Again, full disclosure, that's what I have. There are other trainings and certification providers in the market that can be researched to validate credentials. Next up is the DBT skills group. This is where you'll be introduced to, learn, and practice DBT skills in a small supportive group setting, typically with less than 10 participants. It's like a classroom where everyone is learning together and from each other. Groups are typically led by a therapist or coach and typically include a co-leader. In these groups, you'll work through the 4 modules week by week using materials like Marshall Linehan's DBT Skills Workbook or a more robust online curriculum like the one we offer at TheraHive. Groups advance through the modules over 6 months and typically spend about 6 weeks per module. The mindfulness module is often shorter because the other modules include mindfulness content. You may also find that some programs teach 2 weeks of mindfulness in between the other modules. Other programs, like ours at TheraHive, teach it as a consolidated module. Both approaches are common and effective. You may come across groups that offer abbreviated versions of the curriculum. These are often not considered comprehensive. Sometimes these are focused on particular diagnoses or issues. These might be a good fit if you want to explore or get a taste of DBT without committing to a comprehensive program. When considering shorter programs, our general guideline is to consider carefully if you have enough time in your schedule to practice the skills enough to retain them in an abbreviated or intense group program. This can be challenging for many working people or those balancing other life and family commitments. Imagine you're in a situation where you're struggling to apply what you've learned in DBT. With phone coaching, you can call your provider right then and there for coaching. This is really helpful when it comes to translating skills from group into the real world. It's not just about learning skills in theory, it's about actually using them effectively when it counts. One thing to note about phone coaching is therapists and coaches often struggle to provide timely coaching because of their busy schedules. This is why some group practices pool therapists or coaches to respond to clients. So, you may interact with someone who's not your primary provider. When considering a potential provider, you may want to ask them if they provide the service, between what hours, and what their average response time is for phone coaching calls. In general, the shorter the response time, the better. A DBT consultation team is a team that you won't interact with directly. It's a team of therapists or coaches that meet together to provide each other with support and feedback on your care. Consultation teams also play an essential role in ensuring that care adheres to a DBT protocol. The idea here is that you'll benefit not just from your therapist or coach, but from the wisdom of the broader consultation team. Typically, consultation teams are something that group practices or companies offer their staff. It's not as common for individual therapists or coaches to have. Asking if your provider is part of a consultation team will help you validate if the program is in fact comprehensive. Okay, one last thing to be aware of. The DBT Linehan Board certifies not only practitioners, but also programs. This is the highest standard in the market for a comprehensive program, and there are many great programs that do not have this designation. Okay, that's it. You're now fully informed in all the parts of comprehensive DBT.